What is up, y'all? Your boy is in the box, aka built not bought, aka flexing, aka Mr. Do It Yourself. My Regal is still smoking. Now, if you guys have been following that build, I replaced the valve seals just because I had an intermittent smoking issue, and I'm not sure why. First initial thoughts were valve seals, maybe old or not sealing, possibly valves, maybe not sealing. I don't know. That's probably wouldn't be likely, but it's a possibility. Also, there's a number of other things in a turbo car that can cause smoking, like a backed up like oil drain back tube. Turbo seal could go bad. It could cause oil to collect in the downpipe, so you get smoke upon startup at different times within the car once the oil burns off. Just a number of things. So we are going to go up there, grab one of his spare turbos, bring it back home, take off mine, put his on, and see if it acts up with his on. So I don't know. So traffic's a little heavy right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and get off this camera, but stay tuned. I'll chime in when one other thing, check this out. So now, if you guys have been following me, you know that I got a new tablet. I still got the plastic on it, but I got new gauge set up. Woo-hoo-hoo-wee. And it's cool because I can change the color of all the gauges. I can change the background color and everything. So I just started to use it, and man, dope. I can scroll, let's check a boost, a number of different things. Yeah, buddy. Get on a little bit, man, dope. All right, y'all, so I made it to the shop, picked up the parts, and just wanted to show you guys real quick what I had picked up. So this is a 6262 precision turbo, a lot bigger than what I'm using right now. I think mine is a 45, and it's a step up. My 45 is basically a step up from the stock turbo, and then this one is a lot more than what I have. I think this one is good up to 700 horsepower, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So they all have to be packaged together. So the injectors that I have in mine are 50 pound, these are 60 pound, and then it all has to be completed with a chip. So this is it. This is what I'm gonna try. I didn't just want to hook up the turbo. I wanted to kind of just do the whole package as one, that way I didn't blow up my car. And everything was good. So we'll see if this works, y'all. You guys know me, man. I don't waste no time. I hate having a down car, and since I have the time to do it, might as well knock it out. So here we go. We are now going to take out that turbo and put in the new one. We have to change the injectors on the fuel rail and then install the chip. All right, so if you've never seen one of these cars have a chip replaced in it before, this is pretty straightforward. So the chip is in the computer here. The computer is tucked away under here in the kick panel. There's a kick panel there, and there's a cover for it. But yeah, you just pull this little cover off, held by two little nuts, pull it off, and then there's your chip. Then you just replace it. So anytime there's any kind of upgrades or anything like that, usually injectors, turbo, kind of like the big stuff, then you usually have to get a chip burned. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in right now. I'm gonna need two hands because you definitely got to be careful putting this in and out. It is suggested that you try to put it in as evenly as possible and take it out the same way. So I already took out mine. Now I'm gonna put this one in. The turbo here is just a 45. It actually needs to come off anyway. The gasket is gone, basically. I mean, you can see holes in it. This downpipe will also need to be serviced at some point. It looks like it's a pinhole there, and it looks like it might even be starting to crack, and it looks like it might even have been welded up at some point. So I'll probably have to service that at some point. What I'll probably do is just take it to a buddy or something and just have them just weld the top of that or something. So we'll see. I don't know, but we're gonna go ahead and take this off, and hopefully it's easy. hopefully I could use some easy jobs right about now. And then we are going to just attack the next step and the next step. So man, probably a good hour and 45 minutes later, I got the damn turbo off. Oh my gosh, y'all. Everything with this car has to be difficult, man. I got a lot of the bolts off. I got the downpipe bolts off. I got the oil drain back 2 bolts off. One was a little bit tough to get to, but it ended up coming off. But the turbo to exhaust manifold bolts were a pain in the butt, man. One actually busted loose pretty quickly, but the other 2 gave me fits, man. And one in particular gave me fits. And this is the bolt right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but see how like kind of like dark and rusted it is? But I think it's a combination of rusted and heat, and probably just the exhaust fumes. And that what happened was it built up a lot of that rust and corrosion and stuff. And so this is a 9/16 nut, and it was rusted on. It had built up so much that I couldn't even get the nut on. So it was actually if I had the right socket, it would have been somewhere between a 9/16 and a 15 millimeter. So luckily for me, when I was able to finally bust it loose, I was able to get a 15 millimeter on it and get it off. It was just a pain in the butt, man. And then one of them, if you see that strap in this blanket, I literally had to lay over the engine to get a good angle on the wrench. And then what I did is I used this tie down, and it was a open-ended wrench and then a closed-ended wrench. So on the closed-ended side, I actually just stuck this hook inside of there, and then I had to lay over the car like this and just pull that strap at the right angle, because if I pulled it too high, it would pop off the wrench. If I pulled it too low, then it would pop off on the other end. So I had to pull it at the right angle, and it took me a couple of tries, and finally it snapped, busted loose, and then after that it was easy to get off. So I don't know. So I think what I'm gonna do is probably go to the store and just get some new bolts. I'm not even gonna battle with these anymore, and then I'm going to put the turbo on after that. I'm just gonna take my time. I actually really wanted to do it right now, but I'm not gonna battle that anymore. And then maybe I'll put some anti-seize on it. Hopefully anti-seize will work. Now I can go ahead and attack the injectors and then the chip. The injectors is going to be a process within itself, because I have to take off a couple things to get to the fuel rail. So let me go ahead and attack that right now. Y'all, so fast forward after that time lapse a good 6-7 hours. Man, if I would have told you what I gone through with this car last night, man, it's crazy. This car is giving me fits. I don't know why in the hell it's happening right now. Maybe, well, I'm not technically not even driving it more. I don't even know. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just, I don't know, man. I can't call it. I have no idea what's going on, man. I feel like I fix one thing and then something else happens. I fix another, something else happens, and I don't know, man. But anyways, I'm trying to get to the source of the smoking issues. So the valve stem seals, they work, but they're not causing the car to stop smoking. I have pretty much done tons of research on different Buick forums, asking different people, all kinds of stuff, man. And I'm just kind of just at my end of thoughts of what I think it might be. So the last thing that I wanted to do, which I thought would be the easiest thing, would be to switch out the turbo, because I got it from a Buick car, another Turbo Regal. I thought it was going to be pretty much a swap and go, you know, plug and play type deal, but it was far from it, man. I don't know why it was giving me fits, but it just was. The only thing that fit good was exhaust manifold to the turbo. That's it. Everything else did not work at all, man. I mean the little fittings and stuff like that ended up fitting okay, and everything fitted. Like this bracket that holds that to the head, that fit fine. But I had to take it off of. This is actually mine. I had to take it off my turbo and put it on here. So that was just another step that I had to do. No big deal. But this downpipe did not fit. I have no idea why, because the locations for the mounting points on the bolts are the exact same for all turbo cars, for all turbo Buick cars, but these just wouldn't line up. I don't know why. Like, this fits perfect on mine. I've had this off a few times on mine, but for this one it just wouldn't fit. So like, if I order a downpipe from any turbo Buick sites or anything like that, it would come just like this. Any gaskets that you have, it would come same. But I don't know, like, they were just off, man. And so I had to actually drill out these two holes bigger, and then this one I kind of had to like oblong it a little bit, and it was just a pain in the butt, man. I dealt with that for probably a good 3 hours trying to mess with that, man. It was insane. This one still does not fit. I almost got it there, but at that point it was probably like 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna drill these last two. I have 3 bolts in, and I'm just gonna leave it. Whatever. Like, at this point, I don't even care. So, anyways, that caused me fits. The intercooler did not line up. The intercooler was like actually shifted over here a little bit, and maybe it's because this turbo's bigger. I don't know. I don't know, man. So I had to kind of bend some brackets and shift it over and kind of make that work. It's just been a pain, man. And you know, the whole reason I was wanting to switch the turbo is because a lot of times the turbo seal can go out, and then it can cause the car to basically smoke. So you'll be burning oil through the turbo basically as it comes out the exhaust. But I've always thought that turbo was really clean. Like, there's no play in it. There's no oil residue, anything. I mean, there's no play in the shaft or nothing. It's just it's super clean. So I don't know, I've kind of always thought it's been a good turbo. It's just a smaller turbo, but it works just fine. That's why I never changed it. So being that it was still smoking, I went ahead and borrowed my brother's turbo, and he wants to sell it to me anyway, so I just haven't pulled the trigger on it because I technically don't really need it. But now, fast forward, I've been doing some more research, and I've always wanted to do this simple. I just wanted to add a CatchCan to this car. I don't know why I haven't done it yet, but I've always wanted to do it. Now, it got me thinking last night, and I've actually talked to somebody about it too. They said that they would start with a CatchCan too as far as the smoking issue goes, because these cars are infamous for kind of letting out white puffs or smoke or blue or whatever. They all mean something different. Like, I forgot the colors, but if it's puffing out whatever color, like white, it's usually like coolant. So it could be related to a head gasket or something like that. I think more dark, like a bluish tint or something like that, is kind of related to oil. And then there's another one that's like fuel. So and that's kind of the same with most cars, but these cars are kind of notorious for doing that. So what a lot of people do is they add a CatchCan, and what that does is that helps eliminate the basically the blowback towards the throttle body. So you would tie in a hose to this line here. This is the hose that goes to the PCV valve that goes into the intake. So you would tie in a hose here, and then run that to the catch can, and then run the other line back out and into the PCV port that goes into the intake. And so, and then you would put a check valve, because there's a check valve in here too, to not allow air to go back in through the throttle body. And you would put the check valve in line from here to the catch can. So a lot of times, I guess what happens is blowback comes back and then goes back into the intake, and then sometimes that can cause it to smoke too as well. A lot of people also put oil catch cans on the valve covers. They just eliminate the breathers and then put hoses and fittings and stuff, and run a second catch can. So I don't know, man. So that could be it as well. It could have been as simple as that. We'll see. I actually just ordered just a cheap old one from Amazon. It's actually the same one that I got for my Chevelle. It works fine. I have no issues with it. So got that coming. And yeah, y'all, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna try to get this thing pieced back together today, and then we'll go from there. All right, y'all, I am officially done, at least for now. I'm not done. There's definitely some cleanup things that I have to do, and some other odds and ends, small tasks that I have to correct. But I let it run for a while, and I didn't want to film any of this just because I knew I had a lot of stuff to do, and I really wanted to dive in and take my time and really diagnose a lot of this stuff and make sure everything is working correctly. So I didn't film a lot of it, but I wanted to fill you in on what I did and what I came across. I ended up taking out the alky kit. It's actually sitting over there, if you can see that bottle. It actually wasn't working. I kind of suspected that it was not working. The pump died in it, and I tested it out and everything, and it's definitely not working. It's getting power, that's good, but it's just not working. The catch can, that came in. I actually ordered it this morning. It actually came in about 2 p.m. today. So it's just a cheap Amazon brand, same one that I use for my Chevelle, about $35. Does the job. So hopefully that'll help with some of the smoking issues that I have after the car has been warm. Then I shut it off and then I restart it, and that's when I usually will get a lot of smoke coming out of the tailpipe. So hopefully that'll fix a lot of the issues with that catch can. So hopefully this is the last of the big stuff. Oh, one other thing as well is I had to fab up this little bracket here because my wastegate did not fit on this turbo. Well, and like I tell you guys, man, when I say like nothing fit, I mean like every bolt, every nut was giving me an issue. Like if I went to just bolt something up, like it wouldn't work, man. So I had to fab this up. Luckily I was able to use this hole because on mine it actually has three different bolts and anchor points where I can anchor this wastegate. Well, this one has 0. So I actually had to fab up my own. Luckily, I was able to use this bolt here. I actually had to use a longer one and cut it down. Then I made this aluminum bracket here to help hold this in place so it doesn't shift side to side. And then that bolt secures it there. So that should work perfect. It's actually in the exact same location that my other one was in. I also stuck a nut here, or a bolt through here with a nut on the side, and then that hex head actually helps to keep the wastegate bracket from moving side to side. So thought of that pretty much on the fly, so that's really good. I'm glad I thought of that as well too. All right, y'all, so we are out riding. Got the car all back together, got the new turbo, new injectors on it. I've done a lot of work. Roll up this window. I've done a lot of work to this car, man, as you guys know. Or if you're just tuning in for the first time, I've done a lot of work to this car in the last 6 to 8 weeks, maybe more. Fixed one thing, another one popped up, fixed one thing, another one popped up, then added some stuff and this and that, but took away some stuff. But now we are back on the road and just really just giving it a test drive, kind of just seeing how she drives. From just normal kind of driving without getting into boost, it seems okay. I'll probably try to get on it a little bit here and there. But man, one thing I will say is this car drives a lot smoother. A lot smoother with the upgraded lifters, new push rods, and with the right, just everything just right, set right as it is. It drives a lot quieter, I can definitely tell. Yeah, she spools up fast, man. It's a lot, this turbo's a lot quieter, but when the buildup happens, you can hear it build up. That's only about 10 pounds of boost. And really like maybe not even half throttle. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. My girl's inside waiting for me, so I think what I'm gonna do is actually take her on a cruise in this, and then probably just go get something to eat, come back and chill, man. So, but you guys know what to do, man. Like this video, comment, share, subscribe, man. Do all that good stuff. Stick with me, man. We got this. Out. Deuces.